So we can talk about juggling next, or we can talk about the edge guarding. Well, we're going to talk about both, but which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about juggling first, because like I'm actually I think decent at edge guarding when it's somebody who's not Falco. I feel like I'll get spiked by that illusion every time.
Okay.
But yeah, let's talk juggling first.
Alrighty, so when it comes to juggling, a couple good things that you need to know. Number one is you have the fastest walk in the game.
Yep.
Right? So when you're juggling someone, you don't need to dash like ever.
Okay, just walk.
Yes, just walk.
That's good.
Because I have the 10th fastest walk. You have the number one, right?
Yeah.
So your walk is as fast as some characters run.
Right.
Which is insane. So why is that useful? Essentially, that is useful because you can throw an up tilt literally whenever you want. So you can actually stay much more precise with your juggles. Versus if you dash, you can't throw out an up tilt until after your initial dash ends. Right?
And she's got such a long initial dash too that it feels imprecise. So I feel like, that's really good to know, because I definitely haven't done that at all, and I feel like I miss all the time when I try to juggle.
And that's one of those things too, is with your initial dash being so fast and so far, there's a very, very high chance of overshooting your target.
Yeah, exactly.
Mile. And it's like you go for an up tilt and they land right behind you. It's like, okay. And sometimes what can be very, I guess, I don't even know, just it kind of goes under the radar, is you'll miss a juggle like like that. So you'll dash, go for an up tilt, they land behind you, you miss, but they don't punish you, right? So you're not getting damage put on you for making a genuine mistake, so it doesn't feel like you made a mistake. But the mistake itself is they could be taking more damage, or they could have had to go to the ledge, or you could have killed them, right?
Right.
So that's gonna be number one as far as walking. The move you want to use for the most part is going to be up tilt, unless you have a very hard read or you kind of frame trap them into something. So how do you frame trap someone into something that you can actually capitalize harder? Number one way to frame trap somebody into something worse, like let's say for example, a good way to frame trap me is if I'm above you, if you can get me to air dodge like that, then you can dash over and up smash me. Right?
Okay.
So how do you get me to air dodge? One of the easiest ways to get me to air dodge, you don't even need to throw out an attack.
Oh, just jump.
Just jump, right? Because if I'm up here, for example, if you throw it out and you hit me, I now don't have my jump, especially if let's say I used my double jump high to try and mix you up. So if you come near me at all, I'm air dodging.
You think full hop, short hop?
It depends on how high up I am. And the thing is, Falco's kind of an asterisk beside him because he jumps so high.
So high, yeah.
So you using your double jump against me or your full hop doesn't really do a ton. But when there's a point where I have to land, right? I can't fly forever, obviously. So when I have to land, that's where you can throw out a short hop, realistically. I would say short hop more so than full hop, because it gives you more time, or you get to the ground quicker, right? Get to the ground quicker so that you can get over to wherever you're trying to get to. Because let's say if you short hop right where you are, I air dodge like that, you dash or walk over once. And this is the one case where I probably would actually dash if you happen to get somebody to air dodge, right? If they aren't air dodging, just walk. If you can get into air dash or air dodge, dash underneath them, go for an up smash, and hopefully get a kill, or at the very least put on a ton of damage and continue the situation, right? So another thing too, when you're juggling somebody, you don't want to commit to actually going up high, because you can try and kill someone off the top with a double jump. However, you want to make sure that I don't have my jump still, right? So you have to force out my jump. So one of the ways you can force out my jump is the same way you can force me to air dodge, right? Just jumping at me. So if I use my jump first, this is another part of it as well, you want to track my panic options or my habit as my first resort to escaping pressure. Because everybody has either a double jump or an air dodge. Then after that, some characters have just specials or moves that have like stall and falls, like a Sheik or Toon Link or a Min Min or something like that. You have guns down with Joker, people have counters, right? So some characters will use like their up B, like a Pikachu or a Palutena to get away from stuff. So there are some other ways that people can escape pressure, and it's going to be character dependent. So like for me, I probably wouldn't like go like this to get away from you, because although it looks fast, you can just run over and up smash me. It's very sad. It's very sad stuff. But yes, you want to try and force out one of my two options whether it's just by standing near me, right, or jumping up with a single jump. You don't want to ever commit with a double jump unless you know for sure, and this is like incredibly rare this would ever happen, for sure that I have no jump and I already air dodged. That's the only time you ever use your double jump, because then I can't do anything to escape you. I just have to get hit, right? I can try inside B, but it's an 18 frame startup. If you double jump and hit me, especially after like an air dodge, I can't. Like, I'm gonna do it there. Like, it's not even useful at all, right?
Right.
So there's no point in that. So once you have an idea of which habits I have left, that's gonna also dictate to you what you should be doing on the ground, right?
Okay.
If I air dodge, actually, I don't think I can even air dodge unless I air dodge like that. Like if I go like this, I can still use my jump high. But you also have to just pay attention. Okay, if he still has his jump, maybe you can like force me up with like an up tilt, right? If I jump away from that, now I have no air dodge and no jump, and that's the situation where you could like go to the ground again and then jump up and hit me.
Okay.
Right? Even in that situation there, I also want to premise this as well. Juggle situations are not really made for getting kills. Like, you don't want to say, if I get someone in a juggle situation, I'm going to juggle them to death.
Right.
If that happens, great. It's the same thing as a ledge trap. You don't necessarily ledge trap someone to death. You ledge trap them to, number one, put on a ton of damage. Number two, not really let them play the game. And number three, not let them see what your habits are in the rest of your gameplay or your play style, because all you're doing is ledge trapping, so they don't get to see your neutral, your recovery, or anything, right?
Yeah, I saw that in one of your videos. I was like, that's a really good point I hadn't thought of. It makes so much sense.
And I think we'll talk a little bit about just juggling on a platform or sharking a platform, because that is still kind of part of it. If you want to, you can do, like, since you're much floatier than I am, you can do short hops, and right before you start to hit the ground, or right before you start to descend, throw out an up air and then go for an up tilt. That's one of the fastest ways to pressure a platform quickly, or pressure it twice, I should say. I fall a little bit fast. Like, I could do something like that, but for you it's a little bit easier. That. Yeah, exactly. Right. Something like that. You can also just do the up tilts themselves.
Yeah, the two of them in a row is kind of slow.
And that's another thing, too. If you happen to get someone on the platform, this is another place where you want to walk. I know we're running out of time here, but you want to walk under platforms as well, for the exact same reason as before. It just keeps you much more mobile. Let's get out of this. It keeps you much more mobile, and if they, let's say, depending on how someone gets on a platform, it'll make your platform tech chasing, I guess you could say, even easier, right? So if they do get up attack, or if they roll or do neutral get up, if you're just walking, you can just walk in the same direction that they roll, throw out an up tilt, and now you have a juggle situation.
Right? Okay.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then also with platforms as well, if I'm not, let's say I didn't miss a tech on a platform. Let's say I'm standing on the platform. If I'm in shield, because I'm expecting you to shark my shield, or just shark me in general, I'm gonna wait for you to do something that is hitting my shield at least once before I do anything, right? Because I want you to be in some sort of lag, so that when I try to escape, you can't just get underneath me instantly, right? So if I'm right here and you throw it like an up tilt or anything, I was gonna say that works too. Honestly,
I've never pulled that off in a game, and I keep forgetting that it's an option. But
it's 100%
that's
an option.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, a lot of players, they don't expect that. They expect up tilts. Right?
For sure.
They expect up tilts all day, maybe falling up air. And if I do happen to be in shield, even with like an up tilt, I'm probably going to jump, or I'm going to like do something like that to get away from you. Or I might like, I don't know, I might go here, I might go here. But since you have a sword, very, very, very rarely, if ever, will anyone ever do this. If they do this, they are a madman, because they're literally trying to die on purpose if they do this. Because if I'm in shield, you hit me with the up tilt. Right? If you're spamming up tilt and I just come down, you just hit me again. And also look where I went. Right back. Right? Obviously my like 0%, but if I'm at much higher percent, I'm in a juggle situation. So you can kind of bet that I'm going to do one of two things at the very least. The number one thing I'm probably going to do, this would be the more conservative thing to do, is jump away. Or the more risky thing to do would be like jump down and try and go for a back air.
Okay.
Right? Just based on where you are. If you're more like in the middle, like right there, I probably wouldn't do that. Like, depends on how good the player is. If I don't respect the other player to know how to deal with the situation, I might just do that. But if it's someone who's like, okay, I know they're good, if I jump down like that, they're probably going to shield and they're going to up B, or they're going to grab me or something. So I have to respect that as it's an unwinnable situation, provided that my opponent knows what to do, right?
Gotcha.
Because, like, another thing for me too, I'm going to be paying attention to the way that you're facing and the way that I'm facing. If I drop down, I can't grab you.
Right.
I have to turn around first. And by the time I turn around, you could already grab me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I drop down and go for a back air on your shield, now I have hit stun or lag or whatever you want to call it when I hit the ground. It's not a lot, but it's enough for you to up B.
It's enough for that, yeah.
Yep. Right? So I'm not even going to test my luck at all. I'm just going to get out of there, reset, and try and do something else. Right? So I know that was kind of a lot for the juggling, but to really just wrap things up for that, essentially, you want to stay on the ground, you want to walk around, you want to throw out the up tilts, you want to bait out their options with a jump, with either a full hop or a short hop. You want to pay attention to what their option is that they use, because whatever they use, that means they can't use it again. So if they use a jump, they only have an air dodge left, and vice versa. Right? And ultimately, your juggle situations do not have to result in getting a stock. All it is, the best you can really ask for, is to get your opponent to go to the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Go to the ledge. If they happen to die, that's great. Right? If you happen to drop the juggle situation, and let's say you got only 30%, that's still amazing.
Right, still take it.
Yeah, that's still good. Right? So, yeah, that's pretty much a crash course, especially for Lucina. Lucina's juggling is really good. It's simple, but it's really good because, like, having a disjoint, I can't come down with anything to beat you. So I have to respect that as long as your timing is good, I will never be able to land on you. I have to go somewhere else. Right?
That makes complete sense. And yeah, no, I'm glad you explained it that way, because I know Lucina's juggling supposed to be good, and I feel like I'm extremely inconsistent with it and bad at it against good players.
It's just practice, right?
Yeah.
Another thing too,
but the walking and empty hops will help big time.
Actually, before we wrap it up with juggling, I want to say, from the perspective of the person being juggled, what can I do to try to mix you up? The main thing I'm going to try and do is use my drift, right? To try and get away from you. Maybe use my jump in an area like towards the middle, so I'm kind of in a stationary position as far as my height. I'm not going super high, and I'm not going all the way down to the ground or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm going to try and do is probably use my drift, like I said, to catch you leaning in one way or the other. So if let's say, for example, the wide side of the stage is the right side. So if I go like this, there's a good chance you're going to go over there, right? To try and follow me. But if I know that, I'm going to try and catch you leaning or have you off balance. So if you run over there or walk over there or whatever, if I jump back to where I was, I'm going to try and make some separation between us, right? So if you know that, number one, and you know I still have my jump, there's no reason to believe that I wouldn't do that, right? So you don't want to commit to going all the way over here. If I still have my jump, there's a good chance I'm going to try and mix you up in some way. If I just go ahead and land, I'm probably going to shield, right? Because I'm scared. In which case you can go for a shield break or you can go for a grab.
Yep.
Right? And the last thing a lot of players do, including myself, is if I'm floating around like this, I'll air dodge at the last second.
Yeah.
So I'll use my jump, right, to do whatever, and then I'll air dodge, try and get away from you like that. So I'll go like this, maybe not jump on your head, go like to here, whatever, and I'll air dodge whichever way. But either way, I'm not going very far, right? I'm still air dodging to a platform. I'm not like going from here and then air dodging somehow all the way to the edge.
Right.
And like I said too, I'm trying to create separation to try and get to the ground, and I would rather try and do that. It's more optimal to do than instead of just instantly go here and not even give you a chance. Because realistically, as good as Lucina is at ledge or juggling, probably better at ledge trapping.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I can just die from a forward tilt, for example, right? You don't need much.